Hello everyone, and welcome back to Inkbound. It's been quite a while since I've done a video. Um, I wasn't really having too much fun with Season 3, I think it's the last season. I already forgot what they were labeled as, but regardless, I wasn't having too much fun, so I wasn't really playing. But now with the new update out, I'm having a blast and decided to start recording some videos again. I just got to rank 20. I haven't won a run in rank 20 yet, though I have a feeling it's not going to be different. Um, I starting in the run because there's something that's going on in the Athenium that's spoilery, I guess, and I just don't want to spoil any story stuff for anyone, at least not right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and just start here. So we're going to play Magma Miner today. Root nearby players for us to turn. I guess we'll just go for the quad-handed Shadow Runestone, why not? Um, right. So, trinket I'm going to use today, I'm just going to try using Blaze of Brigid. I think actually Burn Magma Miner has gotten a slight buff with his changes. So, the reason I'm playing Magma Miner for my first rank 20 run of the season, or I guess 1.0, I don't know if you can still consider it a season. Um, but there's a lot of controversy with his changes. A lot of older players think he's a lot weaker. A lot of newer players think he's perfectly fine. Um, so I'm going to kind of get into the specifics on why there's these differing opinions and what my opinion is on the matter. Um, there's also been a lot of talk about the game being too difficult even around rank 10, but I'm just going to show how it is being ranked 20, and I guess why make this series of rank 20 runs is just to kind of give players an idea on some of the choices they could be making. Maybe there's a knowledge gap somewhere, I'm just trying to help out where I can. So, defeat an enemy, gain 3 shield. I don't know if this is going to be too useful. Mostly if stuff may be dying to burn. I think I'm going to get some early game burst damage and movement just because I don't really need burn right at this moment. It's only the very beginning of the run, and even though I already have the Molten set, it's not like I need to apply burn right now. So I think it's fine. Alright, so Magma Miner's rework is that he gains heat still, but he doesn't get passive ability power anymore. Instead, he just at 10 gets a double damage, cooldown reduction for attack bindings, and movement. Previously, he would get up to 10 ability power for charging up, negligible, only useful for the first few fights. The other more useful benefit of the previous heat system was that you could get up to 4 shielding and 50 movement if you got to 10. So that, was useful, not gonna lie. And I was also skeptical about the changes too, and I didn't quite like them at first either. I will be transparent about that. But I think overall, I am starting to really love the new Magma Miner and have even grown the opinion that he's stronger than what he used to be. If I'm gonna take Flame Fist. I could do Ink Flat to try to get Expert Binder. That'd probably be good. I don't have any glyphs to use, so I'm just gonna go here. Let's get that Expert Binder started. So I can do some interesting stuff with that. I don't feel too confident in my build, so I'll probably just go for the standard encounter. I don't think I need an augment right now. I'll still go with the easy encounter. But yeah, so another caveat of the old system too was that you could never use a non-attack binding, because if you didn't deal damage when using a binding, you would lose all your heat stacks. So you essentially lose that extra ability power. So overall, my opinion on the stance is that well, that's really good. Magma Miner is slightly weaker in the early game, slightly, but later on he is much more of a powerhouse because double damage scales a lot more than 10 ability power in the late game. And the other benefit too is this cooldown reduction is very, very useful. Like this is 5 cooldown and it went down to 1 just because I got to this heat. And you also get to carry over the heat as well. So I got to keep my heat, and now I can just do a double damage on this big figment right here. And now because I can just kill him quickly, I took no damage in that fight. Or the previous system, I would have probably not killed him and taken 4 damage with the shield. Could grab this just in case I get into frostfire. I think I'm gonna do that. So now that you have heat not consumed by non-binding attacks, Invigorate's actually a really good binding on Magma Miner. Just because now you can do, I think, quadruple damage if you time it. You don't even have to time it, right? You just have to get to 10 heat, then pop Invigorate, and then you can do quadruple damage on any binding, which is pretty useful. I think I'm going to do Restoration because looks like I'm going into Burn, and I want to be able to at least survive if I'm going to use Burn. Binding Empowerment would be interesting, but if I don't get a Glyph encounter, I'm going to be wasting the 2 option. I don't really want to give up any of my Vestiges right now because I don't really have Vestiges to give up. And I'm going to get a Carver later on anyway. I think I'm just going to take the Binding Empowerment. Usually I only go Carver before the final Carver if I need to heal. And I definitely don't need to heal, so. Okay, now this 3 burn is appealing. Did I get a... No, I did not get a Glyph, so I cannot do this. So I'll probably, since I didn't get a Glyph here, I'll probably go for the Uncommon Augment there. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just get where I have better burn production. And now I feel much more confident about what's going on, since with how easy that last fight was. I think I'm going to go for the hard combat and get that Uncommon Augment. I don't really need money right now. There's an argument to be made that I should get money right now, but I don't think I need it. Okay, so let's see. So for this fight, I think this guy's got cannon again. I have Expert Binder and double up on the burn, which I think is more useful than the spread out cooldown reduction. And I think this turn is mostly just going to be a burn applying turn, mostly because I can also just get to 10 heat and hold on to it. And now that I have this going on, I can smash for a nice big hit right there. I think I could just go here. I need to kill these 2. And then I'll apply burn. I need to lower his HP so he has less damage, ultimately. I think I should be able to do. Or I could just kill him. So check this out. I can, this is what's really cool. Wait. Oh. Actually, I can't do it this turn. Okay, hold on. Check it out next turn. Get rid of you. I can optimize my healing if I just wait a turn, because I'm only getting 3. I could do that. Okay, I didn't get to show off what I wanted to, but that's fine. So I might just take Frozen Finger. Worm Trophy would be really good. Giving myself shield for healing, I think is good. I don't have much survivability right now. I'm gonna need a little bit of that. And this gives me Frost right at the start of the turn. I still don't really know if I'm gonna be committing to that. This would give me damage in all areas, just as a temporary thing. And I don't know, this is gonna be too slow for what I'm doing. This is okay. But I think Worm Trophy is probably the choice. And then I think I just take Frozen Finger in case, again, I get into the Frost build. If anything, now I'll be getting a little bit of extra damage each turn, which I think is good. This is really good for just saving you in an AoE pinch. The double damage can be very useful as well. Am I fighting? Sorry, I'm in this place. Okay, so haven't gone Shrine yet. I still don't plan to. I'd rather get Vestiges right now to help me with the fight. I potentially go Whip. Yeah, just because I'll be applying Bleed, and then I can get the Thaumaturge off. I think that's good. I'm not going to be going for the true final boss because I don't want to spoil it for people. I will probably do runs in the future where I do, but I just kind of want to leave that up in the air in case you're trying to learn from this video and don't want to be spoiled. And so with that in mind, I will... This could be funny, but I think I could just grab this with the knowledge that after the boss fight I will get Thaumaturge 4 and Molten 6. And that would probably be very good. Then we'll go ahead and get an Augment. Ooh, -2 cooldown Smash would be really useful. Alternatively, I'm probably not going to be using my Restoration much. So having just a stronger Restoration that I'm not using often is probably good as well. Shatter I don't think is going to be too useful this run. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this. I don't plan to use Restoration very much. Okay. I think this is a good starting build. I am confident I can beat this Guardian. It's a little sad I didn't get to the Molten 6, which arguably might have been more worth it than the Expert Binder, but it'd be unoptimal if after this fight. I'd rather just try it without. Okay, so we're gonna do what I've been doing. Does this get movement? This does get movement. So the augment I selected. I can get out here and take only 6 damage. Okay. Which one are we dealing with? I forgot to check. If he misses with this charge, he gets more damage. Okay. And he'll spawn extra chompies. That's fine. Alright, we'll do this. And then I think I do this just to get more burn off. Yep, this should be fine. He's dying to burn, so I could probably hide there if I get lucky. So I think I'm gonna just do this. There's no reason to... Yeah, no, that's not happening. Okay. It was worth a shot. You never know. So we will do this, do this. Okay, that's fine. Got 10 heat, so I can deal a nice smash. Alright, that's fine. I'll heal and shield. Looks like I can snag them all with burn. I just realized if I get expert binder, this penalty of 1 extra cooldown might not even matter. That'd be pretty good. That's a lot of damage I just don't feel like taking. Okay. I think this is probably fine at this point. Close. I think it's just fine. There's an argument to shield there just so I heal more from this fountain, but it'd only be about 5 more HP. I don't think that's really worth it. Alright, Detonate would be really interesting. Tantrum got buffed. Tantrum's really good now, but maybe not for this build. Ooh, that would be good, just because I could apply 6 burn stacks, get heat, but then burn damage is pretty good as well. Giving myself... These are all good choices, honestly. I'm gonna go with Detonate. Does this do damage based on burn? It consumes the burn stack, so I think it would do more damage. Will is my main problem right now. I don't really have a good usage of it, or I can't really take effect of this. I will just take Whack-a-Bonk. But it might have been correct to take the burn damage there, I don't know. Alright, in any case, got that going, and we got that going. So now, for at least 1 hit, I'll deal 25% more damage. That's how I look at that. That's why I have bothered to even go for the Frost. Yeah, it's only 25% damage more for 1 hit, but it still helps. Final Chapters would be a death sentence. I think I go Pacifism. Now that Magma Miner doesn't have an ability power raising anything, and since I'm not even building stats so far, at least the main 3 stats, I think Pacifism just won't hurt me. I'm not too worried about Starship of Terrors. I have enough AoE to deal with the amount of enemies. I have so much money. I'm just gonna go, and I'm gaining less money anyway, so I'm just gonna go for the 2 vestiges. Okay. So, let's see here. I kind of want to burn these guys right away. Like that. And I can just detonate. Yep, that works. We'll heal then as well because I need to... Well, 1, it has a long cooldown, but 2, I need to make up for that HP I lost before. Do this. Detonate there. This is... Might as well just consume the heat now. This is a lot of damage. And then I can just let that die to burn. Right. And then I can then heal again. And now we're almost at full HP again. It's pretty good. Frostbite damage now increases damage dealt by burn. I think that's worth it. With how much Frostbite damage, I don't really have much. I'll have much if I get a more, but yeah. I also... Ooh, these are all... This is another tough choice. Okay, with this I'm guaranteed to daze something, right? Because... I don't think I take this though, I think I take the Mega Smash. Probably get rid of Ink Flat. It's okay. I think I just go for Augments again. I could get rid of the Ink Flat there. I don't think it's really that worth it though. And getting a free Incendiary is much more useful. And then for here, I'm going to go for Glyph Globes in the middle because I want to get this, go back and get this rare augment. In case you don't know, you're new to the game, you can go backwards to the previous section. Which can be very useful even for like a vegetable shrine. You could skip sacrificing and then go back and sacrifice afterwards. The only thing is you got to remember to actually do that. And sometimes I forget. There's a high chance I will forget even now. I'm not going to go for the treasure pot. It's away from all the high priority targets, and this thing needs to die. Or I guess if I go for these, maybe it's fine. No, it's just outside of range. It looks like it's just outside of range. Yeah, it's outside of range. Bummer. Oh, well, I probably need to burn it. Yeah, I think it needs burns. Alright, I'll just spread it then to everybody else. I think that's fine. Then I'm gonna... These guys are gonna die... Yeah, but it's 8 damage. I'll just get rid of them. Alright, I think that's fine. So, scratch that about not going for the treasure pot. Okay. Do this. So, check this out. Okay, I can finally demonstrate what I've been wanting to demonstrate. First, I'm gonna do this. So, you see how I'm gonna hit 6 slumps? I'm gonna generate 6 heat, so I'll hit 10, which means I can leap twice in a row. You would have never been able to do that with the previous system. And so I can deal with that group fairly easily. That cooldown reduction is very useful. The other thing too, and why I think I don't think I mentioned from earlier, the reason I say burn is stronger with the new changes, not only is because the burn didn't benefit from the ability power that you even got. I guess the shield, you could argue the shield was helpful for burn. But I guess from my perspective, at least in practice, oh, I should have used this first. Let me just fully heal. In practice, being able to burst down that double damage, right? It doesn't rely on stats or anything. For this detonate, for example, or even if I just didn't get detonate and I got something else, that double damage will help deal extra damage that your burn bill is lacking. I think I go for a heat generation. Ooh, smash, detonate. I could detonate pretty much every turn. Let's do it. All right, and I almost forgot, but I saw because of there. And go back and get this rare augment. Look at shield. And for the lack of getting shield, like it is a lack, but it's something you can make up for with vestiges or augments. All right, I think this run is pretty much won. I don't like any of this. I don't really need this, don't need this. Yeah, I'll do this instead. So I get 2 more rare augments, and then I can get my last 2 purples, which is probably good. It's just would I rather have a heroic vault or a superior vault? My build's kind of, yeah, I don't think it's gonna be useful. This build is already kind of cracked. If I was struggling, I would probably do the normal encounter there, but I'm not struggling at all right now. No reason for me to do that. Okay. Detonate twice in a row? Oh, I didn't even realize that. Wait, hold up. Again, I love this new heat passive. Because now I got detonate to cooldown 2. If I build up heat, or if I build up enough heat and do enough burn damage from the heat I build up, I can just detonate twice in a row. Of course, I still need the actual will for that, but still, that's pretty good. I like that. All right, so I can detonate here. Do this. Yep. It is. I don't think frostfire. This run would be even crazier if I had frostfire. It's probably gonna be way too late to actually get to that point, but still. Expert binder is coming in handy. I'm gonna reroll this. I don't like those choices. This one's probably much better. I'd say probably it is. All right, if I can get -1 will, I would rather have that on my smash. I don't have a feeling I'm gonna get to Frostbite 6. Unless, what was the vestige I could grab? Burning Heart. I might not hold on to this frozen statue, so I'm gonna grab the Stunning Leap just in case I don't. And Blur is not going to be too useful for this fight, even though I will be fighting 4 hands because I did pick the quad hand. So the 4 Blur could be useful. Probably more useful than the 3 shield would be. But this gives me the chance to get to Frostfire, but again, I'm not getting to 6. Alright, it's going to be the first round I go to. I want to keep that Expert Binder 4. I'm just trying to do the math. Blur would protect me for up to 9 damage, right? Because you have the 4 statues, 4 hands, and Guardian himself, so that's 9 damage that I could be mitigating, where this is only 3. So I think just because of the nature of what I'm going into, I don't really need the sets. I know I'm not getting to frostfire. I think I just take the bottled whirlwind. It's probably fine. Okay, and then I can check here. I could get another frosted half charm, and that would actually be really strong. I think it'd be better than this frozen statue. And I don't really need anything else here. I'm gonna save my money for the last shot. Also drag and drop these to reposition them, which is pretty nice. Reposition this all real quick. Okay. Pretty swell. I think I have a chance to completely destroy myself, apparently. Heat generation is really useful. I think I'm gonna do this. Not ready to detonate yet. You really don't want to detonate until you know for sure they're gonna die. Because they will lose all the burn stacks that you could be using. Okay. Do that. Still not ready to detonate. I don't know if I ever will be. Okay. That. Do that. Probably should use my heat here, but I think that's fine. There we go. We'll just have him transition to burn. So another thing, Mimic was technically nerfed this patch. I know a lot of people say Mimic is still the worst Guardian, but it was technically nerfed. It is 75 damage resistance, but you do get a turn where it does nothing. Maybe it doesn't matter much for like crit builds or other kind of builds, but it does make a huge difference for burn and other status builds, because now, instead of having to deal with the next phase right away, I can just stack some burn, some bleed, I guess. And now, even though it didn't do much damage that turn, next turn I do a lot more. Actually, I'm gonna just keep stacking the burn up. I wonder if I can get away with detonate. Yeah, that's worth it. And we'll just stack more burn. Daze you. Do that. Go to the edge. Easy. Okay. Oh, the fun flash fire versus incinerate. It did buff flash fire this patch, but I still think it's much worse than incinerate. Maybe not, because I have detonate, but actually might not be. I usually think it's worse, but actually might not be. Usually though, just getting the damage to trigger right away is much more useful than doubling stacks. But I think detonate might be the exception to the rule if you have detonate. I could do it for experimentation's sake, but at the same time, losing out on incinerate feels really, really rough. And detonate does work on AoE burn. I'm just gonna go with incinerate. I'm still not a fan of flash fire. Now that they buffed it, it might be more worth it if you're playing burn Magma Miner specifically and you specifically have detonate, but I don't know if that's still good enough. Guess we'll, yeah. I mean, this is what I mean, right? Like, I can just kill them now because I'm doing that burn right away. Actually, I'm just gonna do that. Those guys are currently, I don't know if they actually fixed that bug. Those guys were bugged. Don't seem to be anymore. Actually, it might be because I have 15% damage resistance. Maybe that's why. And I do have Bottled Whirlwind. Yeah, they probably start... They're bugged right now. They do way too much damage. Alright, oops. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. And then let's kill those guys. Heal real quick. Let's just take no damage here. It's fine. Okay. And I got exactly which one I needed. Okay. Well. Okay. So let's see what I can use. Okay, so this is why I said heat is technically a buff to Magma Miner, the new heat burn one at least, is now with this, I could apply 20 burn stacks by just sitting and waiting. I don't need to do that, but I want to do that. And besides, I just want to do it too because I want to master the message, so. I'll just check these out to see if anything that sticks out a lot more pops. I could get rid of... I think I'm going to sacrifice this. I could have kept it just for mastery's sake, but I can always do that at rank 0. I don't have to worry about that now. This is just going to be a lot more useful for my current build. I need this for the Thaumaturge. I guess I don't technically need this anymore if I get another Frostbite one. Now that I have the Ten of the Frozen Flame. I would need to get another Frost Vestige. Like this. But I could did it to Master. I'm not going to min-max Vestige Mastery right now. I still have many Vestiges to master. Alright, so I think I'm slightly too low to top myself off. I don't think that's going to matter. Overall, I'm feeling pretty good about my build. I didn't get Frostfire for this, but yeah, I feel pretty good. I got a set that just helps me use burn multiple times. I only need 3 sets. I don't need more than that. What are you doing here? I have never seen this in my life. I didn't even know it existed. I have never seen that in my life. I mean, I don't think it's gonna matter, but Okay. Anyway, so they changed up this fight. This fight's kind of weird now. Um, I don't know if I really like it. Let's get my heat. Basically, how the fight works is these guys are alternating between a kind of weak AoE and the circular AoE, so you want to kind of stay near the center. And so if he puts a lava pool in the center, you kind of have to stay near the edges. That's kind of how the fight works. You can get rid of these guys by having the hands go into them, but it's usually not worth it. Maybe it is worth it. I don't know. I've never done it. Um, I'm just going to use that to get rid of the heat, because what I want to do is build up more heat. So I can do this. And then I guess I do this as well, just to phase him. I might as well. Okay. So first of all, let's apply some burn here. I'm gonna have to daze the boss. He's doing the most damage. But I can kill one of those hands. This is the time I pop this potion. Okay. And then another example of why I say... Oh. And I can't do what I want to do. I don't think it's gonna matter. I don't want to use my potion. Okay, I'll use it. Yep. Double damage detonate with 97 stacks is enough. And there we go. So, overall, new records. I've applied more burn than this. So overall, I think, you know, Magma Miner on paper it seems like it's worse, but the cooldown reduction and the fact that the double damage is much more valuable late game than 10 ability power, and even the force shield becomes less valuable late game when everything does much more damage. Um, and the fact that you can carry over heat stacks, I think the new Magma Miner is just a lot stronger. Because you don't need the force shield early game if you're just double damage killing stuff. And the cooldown reduction is extremely useful. As you could see in that run, there's being able to spam Crater twice, be able to spam Detonate twice in a few situations. That was really, really good. That'll be my first rank 20 run that I have won. It's the first rank 20 run I've done. But, um, so yeah, overall, I would say I'm not going to go to the next screen because, again, I don't want to spoil any story stuff. But overall, I would say new Magma Miner is pretty good. If I was to give any tips, you definitely want to get augments on him. So if you can pick out glyphs as a starting, if you're on a higher rank and you have no starting glyphs, you want to pick out glyphs to start with them if you can. Because if I go to the augments, um, specifically Heat and Smash is really strong. Um, I know it sounds weird that why would you want to use, 3 heat? You would want to use this for the heat, right? But keep in mind you get 2 cooldown reductions. You use this to build up heat quickly and then deal a lot of damage on top of that. And then you will, with cooldown reduction and 1 orb grab, you can then just use it again and um, get a double damage off that. So this lets you generate heat. This is really good. Um, all these starting augments on Leap is good. You pretty much can't go wrong starting with a Leap augment. These are less good to start with, honestly. And in terms of purples, Whack-a-Bonk is really good, depending on if you need it. But if you don't, one -1 will on Discounted Leap is really good because it pretty much guarantees you're going to double up on the leap for 0 will cost. Um, and then if you get 2 discounted smashes and quicken smash, you could do the theoretically same thing, but you are missing out on some of the really good damage augments. It just depends on kind of what you need. And go to bindings real quick. Now that Magma Miner, I guess I could just show Magma Miner. So yeah, Tantrum is really good if you're building physical. Um, it's still arguable whether Demolish is good or not, but Tantrum is really, really good now that it's 2 will cost instead of uh, oh, it's interesting. It shows me because I haven't finished the run yet. It is 2 will cost instead of 1, or sorry, 3. So it's pretty good now. Everything else is still pretty much the same. Now that the passive is different, the binding priority is different. Before you would not want attack bindings with how it used to work, but now that you don't need to worry about that, if you're going burn, shield wall, and restoration, you need at least one of these, I feel like. Or at least you should try to aim for one. Um, Quicken can be very good on Magma Miner as well now, mostly now that it's free. It just lets you get that little bit of extra cooldown that you might not get. Um, Being able to, oh, I guess if you're going burn, smoke bomb's pretty okay as well. Um, Grasp is really good because you can do quadruple damage with the mark and double damage stacking. So Grasp is very good. You'd have to use it at 9 heat, or if you get the multi-hit, then you'd have to still plan around that. So there is a little bit of planning involved with that one, but Grasp is really good. Um, Going to go Frostfire, Cone of Frost can be okay. And Invigorate, of course, is really good as well in Magma Miner now. It takes even less setup than Grasp, so actually Invigorate's probably the better choice if you had to pick between the two. This one has, though, a pull with it and some extra damage, so it's not the worst. And Lightning Bolt's always good on Magma Miner. That's always been the case. Jinx is okay, Cleve is okay. Jinx is actually pretty good with the double damage, too. So it can take advantage of that. And Cultivate is okay. So yeah, overall, if you don't like the new Magma Miner changes, I would give them a shot. I would just treat them as a new aspect, especially if you're new. The previous way you played Magma Miner was just spam your bonk and deal damage, which wasn't the funnest playstyle. I know there's a little caveats here and there, but it wasn't. Ultimately, it was pretty simple. Now it requires a little bit of pre-setup and keeping track of your heat amount. So it definitely has a lot more depth and a lot more to think about. So I would just treat them as a new aspect, and just change how you play them. If you try to play them like the previous Mega Miner, you are going to struggle. That's kind of why I struggled at first as well. I was trying to play him how he used to play and kept losing track of my heat. But once I started treating it as a building up to one big attack, it ended up feeling a lot better. Um, so yeah, next time I'll probably play Star Captain. Somebody requested I play Star Captain. I think I think they thought he's one of the worst aspects. I don't agree with that. I think Chainbreaker's the worst if you're just curious. But yeah, I'll do a Star Captain run and show that he's perfectly fine. Even on single player, he's perfectly fine and can handle his own on uh, rank 20. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.